Wilbur.
And my name is Sofia Volkov.
We are
both here to do this weekly newsletter.
We have another great week in Mr. Enno's class using the Apple TV about how schools in Japan are like.
In Japan, we learned that students always bow to their teacher like this.
They also clean the entire school, even the bathrooms.
One of the other things students do is serve, eat, and clean all of their dishes during lunch.
We learned how Japanese elementary school students are like because we farted too much in class on Tuesday. We had to bow to Mr. Endo like the students there, and it felt silly.
It felt happy.
In other news, we began to read a few different stories this week about how people can help animals survive.
One story was about whooping cranes, and how a group of scientists created a wildlife refuge in Wisconsin to save them from going extinct.
In 1941, the author described how there were only 15 whooping cranes in the wild.
With the scientists' help, they were able to grow the population to over 200 birds.
On Tuesday, at the assembly, about how importance of recycling and use how the sorting stations in our school the correct way.
The presenter played lots of different instruments made out of different recycling materials and chose many volunteers to talk about how recycling works and what you can do with recycling goods.
One example, he showed how a plastic bottle could actually be turned into a stuffed animal.
We sang a few fun songs about recycling, and some students even had a chance to do limbo.
In math, we continued to review the multiplication two-step word problems in the correct order of operations.
We will be taking our Unit 2 test next week.
We also continued on working on cursive printing. Working on our lowercase f's and l's.
I think cursive is more harder than regular printing. I think it is more beautiful than printing.
I think cursive is more better than regular printing. I think it is more fun than printing. Here are some of our classmates working on cursive. Great job, everyone! The biggest project we worked on this week was writing.
We continued working on our persuasive writing piece about a class pet we would like. We are still drafting our few drafts of meeting Mr. Endo to correct our mistakes in our writing. We also started another writing piece about snow globes.
This story is creative writing assignment, and we got to decide if we were living or trapped in a snow globe.
We first brainstormed some ideas for our story that began drafting our stories.
Once we are finished with the drafting stage, we get to type them up on Google Docs through Google Classroom.
This week in mindfulness, we did an exercise where we got to look at our classmates and guess which type of emotion they were showing.
This was an important practice because it helped us figure out how certain people were feeling and how we can help them.
The game was called Show Me, Tell Me.
On Thursday, Miss Quinn passed around a gratitude rock, and we took turns holding it through some and thought of something we were grateful for.
Lastly, on Friday, we had our music concert led by our teacher, Mr. Reader. I was happy singing in front of the school. I felt great singing in front of the school.
I felt scared singing in front of school. I felt really scared singing in front of school.
After lunch, we had buddies with Miss Marvel and Mr. DeMartini's kindergarteners and made snowflakes with them using pipe cleaners and beads. The kindergarteners did a great job putting the beads into the pipe cleaners.
At the end of the day, we did our
Usual
compliment box drawing, choosing 3 students for a prize
or a book
of their choice that Mr. Ando will buy. We also cleaned up the rooms like the
students in Japan cleaned everything, including the floors.
That's all for this week.
Thank you for listening and have a great weekend!
Okay. Ohayou gozaimasu.
Ohayou gozaimasu.
Let's try it again. Ohayou gozaimasu.
Ohayou gozaimasu.